Oh, can you hear it? In the dead of night, when the waves lap against the shore like the heartbeat of the earth, a song still rises from the ocean's depths. The song of
Spirits of the
Malikica,
deep,
the mermaid with scales of blazing
hear
gold,
my plea.
the soul of the sea, who once loved and loathed humankind. From the day the kingdom of Suoise rose, golden light blanketed the waters like a promise of peace. But the brighter the light, the more the shadows sought to reach it. Those from the land are advancing, with iron hands and greed that never sleeps. The sea stirs once more, and this time, between two worlds, Zankibu, son of both water and earth, must choose: save the peace, or let the golden light become flames of destruction once again. As the sun crests the horizon, the entire kingdom of Suoise bathes in a gentle golden hue. The water mirrors the light like liquid glass. The corals below unfurl to greet the dawn. In the central square, the temple of golden light still gleams radiantly. There, within a heart-shaped crystal block, slumbers the heart of Suoise, a glowing crystal born from the harmony of sea and land, the soul of the entire kingdom. Zankibu visits there each morning, barefoot on the cold stone steps, to listen to the water's breath. He has become a young king, kind yet resolute. Each dawn, he gazes silently at the golden light spreading from the crystal, hearing in its depths the faint songs of the deep choir, the chant that keeps the sea from raging and the land from withering. But that morning, the wind shifts. It carries the scent of iron, of ash, and a metallic chill that doesn't belong to the ocean. As Zankibu places his hand on the crystal, he senses the silence. No pulse, no glow. The crystal merely reflects his face, empty. And from that stillness, a small crack appears, running from center to edge. The entire temple hums with an ominous resonance. The seawater around the palace recedes in pulses. Corals retract, fish scatter. The golden light on the crystal walls fades, then extinguishes entirely. Suoise, once radiant as a dream, now turns ashen gray like scattered ashes. In that instant, people everywhere lift their heads. From deep within the sea cliffs, massive shells tumble from the reefs, and the surface foams. Everything gasps like a creature bereft of its heart. Thousands of sea creatures swim against the current, gathering around the central square, gazing toward the main temple where Zankibu stands. No one speaks a word, but in their eyes, he sees the fear and ancient terror that once drove the sea to fury. Then a beam of light bursts from the pillar behind. The water swirls in a vortex, and from within it, Malikica emerges. The mermaid with scales of blazing gold, bright as shattered sunlight, her eyes deep as abysses. Each movement makes the surrounding water tremble. The light bends along the curves of her body. No words are spoken, only a song whispering through the water, like wind through a conch shell. From her lips come sounds not language, but the vibration of a soul. The waves pulse in rhythm. The light flickers. Then, in the still water, images appear. Iron hands touching the ocean floor, drilling into coral layers, stealing golden crystals and hauling them to the surface. Malikica's song echoes off every stone, cracking them. Thousands of creatures bow their heads, the sea resounds. Then, like a trail of luminous smoke, she dissolves into the water, leaving only golden scales drifting slowly, swirling around Zankibu. He looks up. A thick fog has enveloped the city. Above the sea, clouds gather in a circle, dense and dark. Suoise, once the harmonious crossroads of land and water, now feels divided. Zankibu steps from the temple, through crystalline corridors. Cold stone presses against his skin, soaked in the heavy scent of salt and dried seaweed. Each step echoes with sorrow. In the golden streets, people begin gathering light into lamps, hoping to preserve some warmth. They look to him with silent, pleading eyes. For everyone knows, the light fades only when the sea loses its soul. Zankibu gazes up toward the surface. Far off, at the horizon, a reddish-orange glow spreads. A fleet of dark silhouettes moves slowly, iron ships. Smokestacks belch high plumes, streaking the sky like wounds. His heart tightens. He understands what Malikica meant. What was stolen is not just the gem, it is the balance, the fragile boundary between gratitude and possession. In the palace, Adana kneels before the water altar. Her silver hair reflects the blue lamplight. Water drips from her palms, each drop shaped like a faint golden gleam. It is sea blood appearing only when the ocean weeps. She lifts her head, eyes full of knowing, as if hearing a distant song. Malikica has returned, but this time, not to bless. Night falls faster than usual. The sea surface darkens to pitch. The last golden lights are swallowed whole. Zankibu stands on the crystal balcony, overlooking the vast expanse, his heart heavy as stone. He senses in the wind the mingled scents of ash and salt, and a faint sound like a breaking oath. Far below in the depths, the deep choir stirs not a song of peace, but a resonant, fractured tone. The entire sea seems to hold its breath. Then, in that silence, a soft crack echoes from the earth's core. The water surges in a chill pulse. The kingdom's last light droplets shatter, turning to drifting golden dust. Malikica, though dissolved into the water, leaves a long streak of light like a slash across the night sky. Zankibu clenches his fist. He knows from this moment, the kingdom is no longer a sanctuary. It has become a challenge. The sea demands justice. And the son of the sea he must set forth to reclaim the lost heart. In the darkness, Malikica's song rises again, distant, tender yet aching. The remaining golden scales at the seafloor reflect the final light, twinkling like thousands of eyes opening, waiting. That night, Suoise loses its golden light. But in that same night, a new journey begins. And before we continue with the main story content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video, okay? And don't forget to comment below, letting us know where you're watching us from. We'd love to hear that. Across the vast sea, fog descends like a shroud. The gentle ripples grow heavy, slow, as if bearing the sorrow of the entire ocean on their backs. Far off, metallic sounds echo dull and cold, the clank of iron chains, the growl of engines, the clang of nails against hulls. The sea has never heard such noises. It ripples, shudders like a creature disturbed in its millennial sleep. At the horizon, iron ships from the north advance. They bear grotesque shapes, bellies swollen, hulls black and charred like scorched whales. Smokestacks spew swirling gray plumes, tracing faint wounds across the sky. Each turn of the propeller sprays water, shattering sunlight into silver shards. Leading this fleet is General Morgan, a bronze-skinned man with corded muscles, salt-flecked hair, eyes sharp as steel. Once a sailor in merchant fleets, now the head of sea treasure extractors. On his shoulder, a golden sun emblem embroidered in copper thread, they call it the Northern Sun, the mark of those who believe they can tame the ocean. Morgan doesn't believe in myths. To him, the sea is merely a vault of hidden wealth, not a place with a soul. He peers through salt-smeared glass, spotting the faint golden glow from the depths reflecting on the hull. Down there, he thinks, lies the gold of the world. The men following him hail from diverse lands, some with pale skin, others black as ebony, some with Eastern accents, others silent as stone. Together, they haul heavy chains, lowering iron hooks into the sea. They call it the light net, a new invention to detect luminescent objects underwater. But they don't know that very light has awakened the sea. Below, corals fall like plucked flowers. Fish scatter in panic, their scales mottled with light as if torn. The deep choir, the sea's ancient song, emits its first notes, low, thick, and angry. But human ears can't hear it. They only see compasses spinning wildly, water changing color, depth gauges whining like moans. On deck, Morgan orders the anchor dropped. The prow plunges into murky currents, splitting the golden light in two. From the sea's heart, fragmented beams begin to move like thousands of fleeing souls. One sailor shouts of seeing a giant eye below, but no one listens. The engines drown it all. After 3 days, they haul up what Morgan desires, a head-sized crystal, glowing like a sun trapped in ice. When it touches sunlight, the surrounding water boils, foaming as if scorched. Morgan laughs, his laughter mingling with wind and salt, echoing over the sea like clashing metal. He doesn't know that, deep below, golden scales are peeling from Malikica's body. The mermaid writhes in blackened currents, her skin's light flickering like a faltering heart. The heart of Suoise has been severed from the ocean, and the sea's soul is bleeding. The sea begins to change. The water grows colder, heavier, salt so thick it chokes. Currents whirl in reverse. At southern reefs, foam rises in human shapes. Whales surface silently, then vanish. The sea's ancient souls, the deep ones, stir in nightmares. In Suoise, Zankibu feels it. As he touches the water's surface, a mild shock races up his arm, searing like hot iron. In a flash, he sees images the Iron Fleet, rough hands clutching the gem, golden light piercing smoke. He understands. The thief of the heart is no sea creature, but man. The sea wind turns strange. It carries the whine of chains, propellers scraping steel, and the heavy breath of strangers. Suoise sinks into shadow. Along coral paths, seaweed lamps flicker faintly, like dying fireflies. The people gather around the temple, singing pleas. Their voices blend with the waves, but the water doesn't answer. In the deepest place, Malikica opens her eyes. Her golden scales are mere floating specks. Her hair flows long, twisting with currents. Her empty eyes gaze upward. For a moment, she sees Zankibu's silhouette, small, radiant amid the dark. She knows, this time, the sea needs one who carries both souls to reclaim justice. Above, General Morgan places the crystal in a wooden chest, draping it in black cloth. The light pierces through, pulsing steadily like a human heart. The crew cheers, uncorks rum, sings loud. They don't notice the water around the hull shifting color. A black streak spreads, thick as oil, encircling them. That night, as the moon rises, the deep choir intones its second movement. The song is not human, but the wail of thousands of weeping creatures. Waves swell, slamming the hull with resonant booms like funeral drums. Each impact makes the underwater gold flash brighter. Malikica lifts her head, her scales glowing like fire in water. From her eyes, 2 tears fall, becoming 2 long streams of light, one gold, one black. A storm forms, not from wind, but from the ocean's own breath. On deck, Morgan looks around, feeling fear for the first time. He doesn't understand why the compass stops spinning, why the waves recede. That night, the ocean reclaims its voice. From the depths, a voice resounds, not words, but the sea's vibration. You have touched my heart. The first wave rises, tall as a wall. But it doesn't sink the ship. It merely laps the deck gently, like a giant hand brushing prey. Morgan looks up, seeing atop the wave a silhouette, long black hair like ink, golden scales blazing, eyes like twin infernos. The mermaid, radiant yet sorrowful, gazes down at him, not with hatred, but infinite pity. The wave stills, the ship drifts on. But from that night, the sea is no longer blue. It shifts gradually to bronze, the color of stolen gold. In Suoise, as Zankibu gazes to the horizon, he sees it. The sea has changed color, and in that cold golden hue, he hears a call, a promise, a threat. The journey to reclaim the heart begins there. All that night, Zankibu doesn't sleep. He stands at the palace edge, watching the altered ocean. The sea is no longer a mirror reflecting the sky, but a cold metallic face where gold spreads like diluted blood. Each wave crashing ashore carries a droning hum, like the sigh of a roused soul. In the wind, one catches the scent of scorched iron and desolate salt. Far off, tiny light pillars flicker on the surface, signs the deep choir is awake. For generations, Suoise folk believed that when the deep choir sings, the sea gods convene. But never has the song lasted so long, delved so deep, weighed so heavy as this night. Zankibu places his hand on the water. Cold floods his skin, spreading through every fiber. For a moment, everything falls silent. Then, from the depths, a drumbeat echoes slow, low, like a vast heart pulsing at the bottom. Each beat sends ripples outward, spreading like breathing waves. He closes his eyes. Images appear. Before him, darkness unfolds. At its heart, radiant light sparkles like thousands of falling golden droplets. A form moves soft curves, black hair blending with water, golden scales aglow. Malikica. She spins in the current, Not as dance, but ritual. Golden scales detach from her body, tiny fragments rising, becoming specks of light touching the surface above. On the surface, Zankibu opens his eyes. A droplet falls from nowhere onto his forehead, warm as blood, heavy as iron. He knows it's a sign. Malikica is calling. Deep at the bottom, Malikica stands before the temple of the Jade Vortex, where the oath between water and land is carved into stone from ancient times. Around her, ancient sea beings kneel. They are half human, half fish, bodies draped in seaweed, eyes glowing like pearls. Malikica touches the water's surface. Her song pours forth not words, but sound that makes stone vibrate, water illuminate, corals bloom. Her song summons the old souls, witnesses to the kingdom's birth. A golden beam twists around her, rising in a pillar through water layers. The sea echoes, trembles. On land, trees lean toward the sea. In the sky, clouds swirl dense and black. Zankibu stands in Suoise's square, golden light encircling him like fine threads. At his feet, corals glow each branch, each frond, as if sprouting from shadow. In the wind, he hears a formless voice, Malikica's. Not reproach nor resentment, it is a summons, echoing from beyond the light. Return to where I was born. As the words fade, the sea erupts in light. Towering water columns reach the sky. Gold floods every gem, every stone, every water vein. The people prostrate, faces pressed to sand, whispering ancient pleas for calm. Adana emerges from the temple, her silver hair like silk reflecting the light. Her eyes are deep, her face wet, as if freshly wept. She understands. Malikica calls Zankibu, not just for the stolen gem. She calls the heir to both worlds, the one with sea blood and land blood, soul of balance. Wind rises, carrying bell-like tones. At the ocean's edge, schools of large fish circle, eyes facing north. That is the path. That is where the gem was taken. Zankibu approaches the shore. Waves rise, touching his ankles, then recede, leaving a thin golden streak tracing the sand. With each step, the streak extends, becoming a glowing trail leading to sea. That night, all of Suoise watches. No one calls his name, no one stops him. They understand it is an unavoidable journey. As Zankibu nears the water, Malikica appears again, not in form, but as undulating golden light. Her shape dissolves into waves, but her eyes remain clear, two deep, serene sparks. The song rises from all directions, blending with waves, wind, and his heartbeat. The entire ocean sings. The sand beneath softens, like a giant hand inviting. Water laps up, enveloping him in soothing chill. His back arches, hair falls over his brow, body sinks gradually, but no fear comes. He is returning to where he belongs. Overhead, moonlight spills onto the water, mingling with gold. In that instant, Zankibu feels everything the sea's pulse. Malikica's song, his mother's breath echoing from afar. The three merge into a single melody, spreading across the ocean. From the depths, Malikica opens her arms. Her golden scales reignite, fragments like butterfly wings circling Zankibu's form. Each scale touches his skin, dissolves, leaving faint glowing marks the sea's imprints. This is how Malikica bestows blessing, not with words, but scales. Zankibu opens his eyes in the deep water. Salty air fills his lungs, but he doesn't choke. Instead, he breathes with the sea's own rhythm. His eyes shift hue gold mingled with blue. Malikica gazes at him, eyes brimming with faith and pain. From now on, he will be the one of two worlds, called the River Child, emissary of balance. But to preserve the light, he must face the rising shadow. On the surface, the sky turns bronze, black clouds roiling. To the north, where iron ships anchor, a blinding golden light suddenly erupts, tearing the night. It is the first sign gold reflected in the wrong place. Zankibu lifts his head, hearing in his depths Malikica's final words not in sound but feeling. If you do not return, the sea will forget how to sing. And then, the light around him fades. Only darkness remains, and the journey begins. That day, the sun rises sluggishly, as if light itself hesitates before the sea stripped of blue. Currents carry Zankibu upward in gentle swells, light as breath. Then the surface parts, and he steps into the land world where wind carries scents of coal, smoke, and hot sand, where the sea is merely a distant horizon. His feet touch warm mud. His skin still holds a faint golden sheen, reflecting the dim light. With his first breath, his lungs fill with the old world's aroma. Damp earth, burning wood, human sweat, and dry wind that stings the mind. This is the land, but no longer the peaceful village of his mother's tales. Before him, fields lie plowed bare. The once meandering riverbed exposes cracked stones, mere puddles of murky water mirroring a fractured sky. At the forest edge, men burn wood to erect tall iron stakes, wrapped in chains. Hammer strikes, steel clangs, shouts, all blend into a harsh symphony. They are northerners, rooting into soil and draining its life. Zankibu hides behind a charred tree trunk, observing. Gold in his eyes reflects the red flames. He sees them digging a vast pit in the forest heart, deep enough for groundwater to seep, mixing into black mud. In that pit, a heavy wooden chest is holed up, the one from Malikica's vision. The golden gem rests inside, but now its light is impure. It heaves like a chained creature. Around it, trees wither, grass turns to ash. Each glow from the gem spreads a black spot across the earth, like a curse seeping into flesh. Far off, the old fishing village lingers in remnants, ramshackle thatch roofs, splintered docks. The people no longer venture to sea. They survive by scavenging iron, wood, dead fish washed from poisoned waters. In their eyes, the gem's golden light is the sole remaining beauty. They don't know they worship the curse itself. Zankibu walks on, his footsteps blending with wind. He passes felled tree stumps, oil-slicked sands, dry wells holding only faint dampness. With each step, he feels the land's pain, every grain of sand, every root crying beneath his skin. The sea's imbalance has reached the shore. Night falls, starless. Only a thin light band glows at the horizon, fraying like torn golden thread. He sits by the old riverbank, water barely filling a palm. As he leans down, the surface reflects two figures, himself, and behind, another Malikica. She is no longer the radiant form from ocean depths. Her golden scales are sparse, light fading, but her eyes still burn. Wind stirs, lifting her black hair lightly, like smoke into night. Without words, Zankibu understands she comes to guide. A thin light beam wraps his wrist. It is Malikica's mark, golden scales merged into his blood, glowing whenever he nears the gem's prison. The light pulses with his heart, reminding him, the sea still watches. He heads north, crossing black dunes. Everywhere he sees conquest traces. In one village, people kneel before an iron statue, mimicking the gem. They believe it brings fortune, but as they light candles around it, shadow spreads from the base. Children born there cannot sing. Springs dry, trees refuse to bud. The sky hangs in bronze, the color of misplaced gold. Zankibu nears Morgan's camp. It is barren land where wind never ceases. Iron ships lie beached like massive dead fish, hulls crusted in salt and moss. At the center, an iron tower pierces the sky, the gem suspended at its peak, its light illuminating the region. They call this the Northern Sun Tower. That light bathes the night sky in gold, but without warmth. It is cold, like half-forged metal. Guards circle it with pride, believing they've subdued the sea. But Zankibu, looking up, sees only a soul in torment. For a moment, the wind stills. Space falls utterly silent. He hears whispers in his ear, not human, but millions of water droplets crying for rescue. They call his name invisibly. Zankibu, the river child, bring me home. He takes another step. Gold surges in his veins. The ground quakes. The dry riverbed begins flowing backward. From the earth, water gushes, foaming white, swirling around his feet like thousands of tiny souls. Thunder cracks the sky, but no rain falls. Sand grains lift, twisting into spirals. It is Malikica's warning. Do not touch the gold while the heart still fears. Zankibu halts at the pit's edge, where the gem dangles suspended. He feels its heat radiating, intense enough to crack air. The landscape warps around him. Trees smolder from within. The gem pulses, steady, heavy. In a flash, he realizes it is Malikica's heartbeat. The gem isn't just stolen, it is dying. On the sea, Malikica opens her eyes. She feels her own pulse weakening, each breath dissolving into water. Golden scales shed, light in her eyes blurs, but she still sings. Her voice frail, piercing hundreds of miles to touch Zankibu's heart. The song bears no words, only the sound of life, and as it rises, wind howls, water surges, encircling Zankibu in a ring of light. Everything begins to move. Atop the tower, the gem vibrates for the first time since its theft. Light bursts forth, illuminating the scorched forest, faces of those who believed in eternity's grasp. The land drowns in gold, beautiful, terrifying. Zankibu looks up, hands trembling. He knows he has one chance: save the sea, or let the gold consume both worlds. And now, dear audience, pause a moment to hit subscribe before diving back into the story's heart, but only if you truly connect with what I'm sharing here, and drop a comment below telling me where you're watching from and what time it is for you. After the night gold blankets everything, the earth begins to tremble. Small cracks spiderweb along hillsides, threading through roots, spreading to the dry riverbeds. At first, folks think it's just the quake of parched soil, but from those fissures, a dark red fluid oozes thick as resin, salty as blood, reeking of scorched metal. The land is bleeding. The plain shudders, groaning like a cry for help. Wind sweeps through, carrying strange sounds, half drumbeat, half labored breath. From afar, dunes collapse, exposing black stone slabs long dormant in the earth. They emanate searing heat, hurling inverted light streaks skyward. The sun hides, but the stolen gem's gold still pours down, dividing the world into two hues, blinding yellow, blood red. Zankibu stands amid it all. His eyes blaze, but his heart weighs like stone. He hears each tiny earth crack, like the low moan of a colossal being strangled. Each gust chills his skin not from air, but from his soul's depths, where he feels the pain of both worlds. At the hillside base, the old river boils. Clear water turns murky, mingling with land blood. In rising mist, vague shapes emerge: women, children, fallen sea warriors. Voiceless, they gaze at him with pleading eyes. These souls are the ocean's memories, imprisoned on land since the gem's theft. Zankibu kneels, hand on mud. Red fluid seeps between fingers, burning like fire. He feels pulled downward, deeper, where deep choir songs mix with earth's wails. The sounds twist together, forming an endless melody, sacred, desperate. All creatures transform. Black birds circle overhead, wings reflecting bronze. River fish surface, scales losing silver for scorched gold. Trees sprout metallic blooms, flowering in a day then closing, leaving acrid scent. Nature revives but warped, as if gold has infected every vein with unrest. In distant Suoise, Adana senses the shift. Touching the water, it feels no longer soft, now viscous, gold-flecked, yet iron-bitter. She looks to the sun, once benevolent, now eye-searing. Everything gleams excessively, as if light seeks to incinerate beauty. She hears Malikica's voice, thin and quivering like shattering shell. The gold floods the land. If not returned, the sea dies, and earth bears no more. Elsewhere, Zankibu presses on, through ghost villages, scorched fields where children trace gem shapes in bloodied sand. Elders recount old tales that gold once signaled blessing, but human greed turned it to the brightest curse. No one dares douse the fire, fearing darkness, unaware the light burns their souls bit by bit. Night comes, starless. Instead, thousands of floating light specks, like golden ash. They drift on wind, falling to hair, earth, river surfaces. Each speck is a scale from Malikica, shed as she weakens. Beautiful, shimmering, but each landfall quakes the ground. Zankibu looks up, arms outstretched, catching one. On touch, visions explode Malikica in darkened ocean, her form dissolving into water, gold on her skin spilling like blood streams. She sings, voice thread-thin, wrapping him. His throat tightens, as if his own heart squeezes. In that instant, he grasps. To save the sea, he must awaken its true heart, not merely reclaim the gem. The gem is form. The sea's true heart is balance, the rhythm blending land and water, greed and mercy. Atop the hill, wind veers. A sandstorm erupts, shredding the sky. Zankibu is thrown down, eyes stinging. When he opens them, the land has shifted, not gold, not red, but glossy black like ash-mingled metal. Amid the storm, something stirs. A colossal sand and iron form rises from earth. Faceless, only empty sockets glaring bright. It is Gold's shadow, a warped soul born of greed and loss. Each step collapses ground. Each breath gilds the sky. Zankibu retreats. His hands shake, but skin gold blazes brighter than ever. In his palm, Malikica's scale glows, guiding. He knows retreat is impossible. The storm intensifies, carrying whispers from distant ocean. Malikica calls, each wave a bridge between worlds, fear and faith. Zankibu inhales deeply, tasting salt flooding his throat amid desert. He understands. When land bleeds, sea responds. To preserve life, he must reach the end where the gem hangs, gold brightest, death waits. Thunder rolls above. Earth resounds below. Sky cracks a light slit, beaming straight down. That light no longer warms. It chills like a blade. In its beam, Malikica's shadow appears, scales blazing, eyes abyssal, arm extended as if pulling him seaward. Zankibu's journey is no longer mere gem hunt. It is reclaiming Gold's truth blessing, or curse self-sown by humanity from the start. That night, wind shifts. No longer from sea inland, but from Earth's core outward, damp, thick, chill breath. Each pass lifts sand layers, forming glittering golden swirls. No one knows night from day, for the stolen gem's light permeates air, gilding every surface, tainting even shadows with dull gold. Zankibu stands alone on the plain. The storm passed, but the world feels rent. Beneath cracked soil, a yawning void hums like a muffled drum. He approaches. At the pit's mouth, blackened stones smoke faintly, exuding hot iron and decayed kelp scents. As he leans, earth quakes again. Cold air blasts his face, carrying whispers shapeless, yet rhythmic, toned, breathed. They rise and fall, undulating like waves. Then all merge into one deep, resonant tone, striking his chest. It is Malikica's song. Not the watery melody of before, but sound passed through pain and shadow. It rises from earth, not sea, as if she is imprisoned in the world's deepest roots. The sound trembles, hoarse, yet retains the sacred rhythm he once heard below. Zankibu kneels, hand on soil. Each note passes, ground quivers faintly, emitting pale gold. Cracks widen, forming circular wave patterns. His body syncs with the song, bones vibrate, blood flows, heart matches tempo. A vision flashes, Malikica sinking in blackness, black hair blending with water, scales detaching, dissolving into myriad lights. A long, red glowing crack scars her throat, like molten iron. Each song note pulses it, bursting blood like bubbles. The song clarifies, wordless, but he comprehends. A plea drawn-out note, heavy, dragging the world toward it. He hears his own echo sinking with it. The two blend, indistinguishable Malikica from him. Suddenly, ground shatters beneath. Light spears skyward, shredding wind into fragments. The plane blazes momentarily, then quiets. Dust clears, revealing a massive tunnel before him, deep and wide as a beast's gullet agape. Steam rises from it, bearing deep choir's collective voice now echoing from Earth's heart. Zankibu descends. Each step cools the air. From surface heat, he enters ice-cold strata. Arm gold is his sole guide. Tunnel walls drape in dried kelp, limestone, fossilized coral traces proving sea once claimed here, long before humans named it land. Deeper, the song sharpens. No longer distant, it surrounds, seeping into rock crevices, falling droplets. The song shifts. From plea to warning, something approaches, something neither sea nor land. The tunnel widens to a vast cavern. At center, a black pool mirrors golden light, surface still, but each song's swell ripples it, forming ancient round script. Zankibu recognizes ancestral tongue, once used to read the oath between Malikica and humanity. He leans, trembling finger retracing symbols. They ignite, linking into a circle, then parting. From the pool, a light pillar rises, and within it, Malikica manifests. She is no longer whole. Her tail dissolves to mist, scales falling like slow rain, but her eyes blaze. They meet his not with sorrow but power. From her lips, the final song resounds. This time, he grasps each beat, each interval, no longer plea. It is the song of transference. Malikica bestows the sea's last soul fragment upon him. Light from her spreads, threading water veins, soil, entering him. Zankibu groans softly. His body shakes, eyes turning blazing gold. He sees the world's flow where sea and land once merged, where every creature's soul connects by breath. But simultaneously, another sound rises distant, low, metallic, distorted. Engine rumble. Humans draw near. Northerners drill deeper, unaware they invade the world's holiest core. Malikica gazes, lips parting silently. He understands. If they touch here, gold turns to ash. Zankibu nods. Light within him erupts, weaving thousands of golden threads around his form. The cavern song halts, leaving only heartbeats. One beat, two, then silence. Malikica dissolves into the beam, fully merging with his blood. The black pool shifts hue. It becomes golden, boiling like a sun. From it, smoke rises, threading cracks, surfacing earthward, carrying deep choir's song ringing on land for the first time. Zankibu lifts his head, feeling light course every vein. Malikica's voice echoes in his heart, no longer cry, but guiding rhythm. He knows, sea and he are one now. He is the song beneath the earth. From earth's core, a sound resounds low, prolonged, rippling through soil, like a colossal creature's awakening breath. The sky grays thick, as if to shatter. Wind veers, no longer land's heat, but water's chill. Salt mist rises, veiling air, salting even arid ground. Zankibu stands amid scorched fields. He lifts his gaze to the horizon. There, the sea stirs, no longer still. A thin light line traces it like a sky-skin crack, quivering gold. Then abruptly, sea swells. The first waves come silent as shade. They creep over land, threading stones, gliding like vast cloths. The water unnaturally flat. Within, no sky reflects, but Malikica's face eyes closed, golden scales blazing like sunken sun. Zankibu feels his heart song alter. No longer lilting, but fiercer, faster, like ancient kingdoms' war drums. He hears within the wail of thousands of sea souls warriors slain for gold, kneelers at Malikica's feet, those dissolved into water. All form deep choir, anthem of wrath. Sky blackens deep, thunder cracks sands lightning, wind howls like beast roar. From afar, drilling crews panic. Ground softens beneath, slickens, then liquefies to mud. Iron rigs, massive drills tilt, plunge into expanding water pits. They scream, but sounds swallow into waves. A titanic wave surges from sea, not mountainous, but dense, as if holding millions of souls. It coils, then crashes the iron camp. In seconds, northern sun tower vanishes. Sky-gilding gold dissolves to cold blue, deep as primordial ocean. Amid chaos, Zankibu stands unmoved. Inner light rises, coiling his form like luminous cords. As wave nears, it parts, circling him as if shunning its lord. Water twists to spirals, and from them, Malikica emerges. She towers grander than ever. Black hair merges with water, streaming like ribbons. Her scales blaze so fiercely they eclipse lightning. Each a sunray, fallen star, sea soul. As she moves, scales cascade like golden rain veiling waves. But amid beauty burns fury, primal sea power betrayed. Malikica lifts head. Sea responds. Thousands of waves rear. forming colossal water walls, not storm roaring, but rhythmic. Boom, 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 ocean's drum. Zankibu raises hand, feeling rhythm sink his heart. Each beat quakes earth, uproots trees, splits mountains. He grasps. Malikica rages not just for stolen gem, but land's betrayal where humans vowed balance, protection, yet drained sea life. Overhead, sky parts a light streak, gem's final remnant. It pierces waves, touching Malikica's scales. Light rebounds skyward, forming radiant circles. In each, past images, ancient villages, moon-kneeling fishers, lost peace songs. Malikica eyes Zankibu. Wordless, he comprehends. She seeks no destruction, but balance, restoration. Yet sees wrath crests. Once enraged, none halts it. Zankibu nears water's edge, feet sinking. He inhales deep, letting inner song rise. A soft, slow hum amid roaring waves. Adana's lullaby, once sung riverside in mother's arms. The melody spreads. It threads waves, wind, falling droplets. Briefly, sea pauses. Silence blankets, all profound enough to hear world's heartbeat. Malikica tilts head. Her gold softens from glare to gentle. Water halts, recedes layer by layer. Waves contract like drawn silk. Sky parts blue patch amid black clouds. But sea's wrath simmers slow. As waves withdraw, earth fissures, veins unable to bear shift. Black water erupts from core, viscous, gold glinting like oil. Land's blood, once drained by gem, now reverses flood. Zankibu watches it spread, mingling with sea. Gold streaks, turning ocean to vast bronze mirror. Therein reflect he and Malikica, two souls, two worlds, gazing through shared water. In that moment, Malikica's final song lifts, breath-light yet storm-strong. It speaks rebirth, light belonging to none alone, the waterland child who bears curse to dissolve it. Zankibu bows head. Inner light ignites. His form glows gold, unblinding. Dawn warm light, ambition free. Eyes open, Malikica dissolves to waves, leaving scales twinkling like stardust. Shoreward, sea recedes. Not with ruin, it deposits tiny corals, living gold, bright, sparkling amid black soil. Nature breathes anew. Zankibu kneels, touching a warm coral shard. He feels sea's pulse within, sinking his own. He knows wrath past, but journey lingers. Balance shaken. To hold it, venture farther to gold's source. He gazes seaward, horizon softly lit. On wind, Malikica's voice whispers lullaby small. Let not gold repeat, the path is yours now. And if you're still here, listener, drop a wave emoji in comments so I know you're journeying with me. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. For next breath of two worlds, the sea unveils the golden curse's final secret. After sea recedes, land falls strangely quiet. No wind, no insects, only faint, breath-like sound, long, slow, steady from somewhere deep below. Zankibu stands in damp ground, water beads on skin like stray stars. Sun rises heatless, light drifts smoky, veiling all in antique bronze. Sea quiets, but world unrests truly. Each Zankibu eye close, he hears murmurs deep choir's shattered song, no longer from water, but air, tree roots, soil fibers. As if both worlds breathe one rhythm, share one soul. He walks. Each step, ground softens, reluctant to release. Yet he presses, till wind shifts chill salt mingled with damp earth, breath of two worlds, blended yet unmerged. At old cliff edge, where storms severed land from water, he spies drifting pale glow. Light unlike Malikica's gold or sun's silver. Transparent, mist thin, yet pervasive, softening space to water-like quiver. He kneels, hand to soil. Beneath palm, earth pulses slow, deep, ear pressed. He hears murmur, breath-like, inhuman, earth's own breath, laced with subsurface sea whisper. Dual rhythm, one land, one water merging like twin hearts. Zankibu closes eyes. Briefly, he loses form. He drifts. Body fades, mist dissolving. He falls, yet not down. He slips betwixt where water-land bounds vanish. Up-down, life-death blur. There, no light nor dark. All shimmers, hazy, crystal dreamlike. Thousands of beings drift past half-human, half-water, ancient shades. Some human-faced, serpentine, finned glimmering. All move languid, time-swimming. Zankibu comprehends this world's liminal, where waterland souls meet, every curse scars. Distant, gold brightens. Amid mists a form, Malikica, no longer majestic goddess. Diminished, silent, scales faint flickers. She drifts spaceward, black hair mist-blent, eyes half-lidded dreamward. Zankibu nears, touching her air. Mist recoils, twisting to thin water ribbons. He feels her frail pulse, earth sinking. Malikica belongs no longer to sea. She is two worlds' breath, guarding fragile live-exist bound. Around, mist stirs. From her breath, other shades emerge. Adana in water-soaked old gown stands rearward, eyes gentle yet distant. Wordless, hand to chest. Ikenna appears beside, eyes quietly sun-tracking. Both stand like sand lamps, glowing in gloom. Zankibu's tears well. But they fall not, dissolving to light, air mingling. He knows, they claim this world no more, yet linger in land-water breath, old world song rhythm. Mid-mist, song resumes. Not Malikica's, nor deep choir, world's own song sourceless, languageless, universally grasped. It speaks harmony, wounds to heal, gold curse long unhealed. Zankibu opens eyes. Hands blaze gold, veins riverine on skin. They brighten, sinking world breath. He grasps. Only when humans bow to land and water both, balance returns. From mist depths, Malikica parts lids. Lips stir soundless, but her breath gusts Zankibu's chest, heart igniting. His form erupts, lantern bright in night. Encircling mist accelerates, vast spiral forming. Within, myriad light souls ascend, gold dusting. Simultaneously, earthward flowers bloom unprecedented. Mist-thin petals, salt-damp earth scent, called breath flowers, sprouting only when sea and land share inhale. Zankibu exits liminal. Foot to ground, sand warms, water clears, air salt pleasantly scents. Sun rises true, not curse gold, but new begin white light. He stands shoreward, sea-gazing. Horizon waves gentle, soft gold reflecting, glare-free. He knows Malikica lingers in every droplet, gust. No longer sea goddess, but two worlds' breath, harmonizing with him. Wind brushes light, salt kisses lips, final whisper. Balance begins. Zankibu closes eyes, feeling breath infiltrate lungs, body spreading, Mother Earth merging. In that instant, world inhales together long, deep, serene. That night, world sleeps deep. But sea heart stirs faint, heartbeat wakened. 1 beat, 2 beats. Then gentle waves ripple outward, coiling like distant murmurs. Shoreward, Zankibu sits rock edge, palms water down. Beneath skin, gold lingers faint, tiny specks vein drifting like extinguished fire ash. Air thickens around. Salt metal mingled scent, sea no longer clear, pitch thick, earth breath heavy. Far offshore, water bulges, old gold glinting. Then thin light streaks sky, not sun, not moon. Abyss light, inextinguishable gold, yet never illuminating. Ocean alters entire. Stillness gone, pulses uneven. Surface expands, contracts like labored chest. Deep floor, massive bubbles burst, hot metal sounding. World pants, long sleep roused. Sky dims gradual, not dusk but sea light sucking. Reflections warp, water mirrors, but no clouds, no land faceless figures, old soul remnants. They crowd dense, wave flickering, dissolving. Zankibu rises, eye gold faintly flares, wind chills hair. He feels horizon pull deep, slow, ancient drum low. No call, yet something demands return to ocean's darkest. Beneath feet, sand recedes, ground soaks, creature skinned moving, soil fibers part, myriad tiny cracks gold glinting within, fissures flow one direction seaward, like opened veins, returning blood to primordial heart, waves shape form. Unclear man or water, eyeless, mouthless, murky forms bearing faint light. Each crash shatters them to thousand tiny gleams, reforming other shapes. They advance shoreward, silent, soundless. Zankibu steps back, but rear ground vanished. He stands threshold, sand ends, water begins, wind rises, low trilling. No song now, but sigh prolonged, hoarse world core echoing. Abyss gapes. Black wave rears. Not tall, not fierce, but glass flow thick, dense. Within, gold strands twist, radiant dangerous. It halts before Zankibu, neither advancing nor retreating, waiting. He closes eyes, body chills gradual, fingertip droplets vaporizing. Heart deep, light rekindles flicker to swell. He senses Malikica somewhere, wave hidden, gust laced, sea pulsing. No longer person goddess she is, water's soul. Abruptly, intruding sound, sharp, small, metallic hum. From depths, brain threading. Each ring, inner light flickers, wind candle. Then, realization. Abyss song, forgotten chant Malikica once sealed. Song wordless, rhythmic only. Heavy, uneven, hypnotic. Each beat, sea rises slight, land cracks further, abyss calls, world answers. Zankibu sky gazes, clouds part, denser dark than night, center, gold vortex. Not sun abyss eye, opening first in millennia. It downward gazes, silent, indifferent. World hushes. No wind, no water, all freezes, gold cascading, sea scaling vast. Momentarily, Zankibu sees all. Ancient floor kingdoms, coral-chained souls, forgotten goddesses, stone warriors, sunken gold cities, all head lift himward. Then sound returns, no sea, but blood pound. Land breathes, sea breathes, abyss breathes. Three rhythms, one. Zankibu feels feet dragged. Water rises, cold heavy, invisible silk binding. He resists not. Body tips, sea falling. Surface seals, mirror flat. Gold spreads, ocean metallic living. Final waves lap, shore soft. Mother hand lulling child to sleep. Thence, Zankibu unseen. Only next morn, sun rising, sea blazes seconds, then quiets. Deep secret sealed beyond human grasp. Shore remnant, mud sand mid, tiny gold scale, glimmer warm, two worlds breath held. Dawn creeps slow, not light but warmth fragile, sand grain threading. Sea mirror still, yet altered. No fishy reek, no abyss heavy breath, only mist soft vapor, dawn glistening. Folks say, 7 nights post-event, sea breath holds, land unrings, sky starless. All pauses, world listening some unraised song. Then 8th night, moon rises, its light odd not white, not silver but pale gold like ancient gold's last breath. Sea dimples faint, tiny circles spread centerward, moon touch point. Water heart, light specks emerge first few, then hundreds, thousands. They move upstream fish-like, yet not fish, golden scales. Tiny gleam fragments lift sea surface, not falling, circling concentric slow. Final ring closes, water vibrates string taut. Then depths, prolonged hum rises. Not wind, not thunder, song. Sea song deep choir first post-century lift. No sorrow, no rage, but gentle, clear as newborn water. Song spreads, water threading, earth soaking, root lacing. Creatures pause, listening. Even sands pulse rhythmic. Shoreward, villagers wake. Barefoot, mud-handed, they shore walk, sea gazing. Eyes catch spiraling glow, rising seaward dance prayer like. Meaning eludes, but hearts lighten, ancient fear washed. Sea mid, figure surfaces depths, no clamor, no fury, mist dissolving silent. Zankibu, form gold veiled, yet transparent pearl shell. Hair wet, face clinging, eyes half shut. Each outbreath, water musical ripples. No longer man, nor God. Bridge he, water land sun, breath song child. Distant, horizon parts. Faint light band bounds sea sky. Within, Malikica shadow. formless now, mere glimmer stream, sea mirroring shard. Scale layers from her shade shatter, water touching, light flowering. And that moment, sea songs anew, but now, not water alone, landward too. Village streams hum, trees sway, leaves faint glowing. Ground exhales mild heat, ash flower scented. Folks kneel, not fear, but sacred sensing two worlds' harmony. Zankibu eyes open. Pupils see sky reflect, both held. Hand lifts, water touch light. First wave spreads, not ruin, but rebirth. Where passes, kelp revives. Corals color splendor. Gold silver fish return. Earth deep, fresh water wells. Cracked fields soaking. Wave pass, breath flowers sprout. Land water scents blend. New life flavoring. Sky-high clouds part. Blue expanse widens, sun emerges, not curse gold glut, but pure white. Light grains fall, sea jewels scattering. Zankibu surveys, no bounds remain. Land water merge, lover's breath post forgive. He inhales deep, sea salt river sweet tasting, exhales long, warm, light. From breath, final song lifts, wordless rhythmic heart rhythm, each beat wave, each wave life beat. Song everywhere spreads, ocean crossing, forest piercing, peak climbing. Wherever passing, creatures pause, hear, smile. Light settling, sea quiets. Zankibu stands jade statue-like, eyes closed, hand water touch. Then wind comes mother breath light. Wind sweeps him. Sea leaving lone fading light circle. Folks tell thence each dawn, sea sings. Light, mist thin song, sun pre-seconds. Who hears, heart lightens cleansed, called the song of the two worlds song. And seaside villages small Zankibu tale passes gold-veined youth, Malikica land mother son, curse to breath transformer. Generations retell, embellish, vary, yet finale unforgot. When sea sings anew, world heals. Seaside there, children dawn run playful, shell glow grasping faint. Ancient gods unknown, sea warmth why ungrasped. But wind stir, they pause, head lift listening. Distant, sea sings lullaby soft, endless dream gentle. And thus, worldwide listeners, the tale closes but echoes linger, wave rhythm inner each. Perhaps small Atlanta room hearing, or New Orleans port near home, or Virginia beach where waves morning sing. Wherever, pause minute silent, deep inhale. Hear you? Two worlds breath, land water rhythm, ancestor source call nightly whispered. Zankibu, Malikica, Adana not legend figures alone. They mirror us each, learning forgive, return, hold light sands swallow. For gold not evil humans forget pure heart seeing. If felt that, share tale loved one who needs sea song reminder belonging here as all we. And ere depart subscribe channel, like button press, comment drop where hearing, what hour. Thus you help songs live, generation flowing African American like ceaseless river. For when together retell, sea sings anew. And sea singing, world heals.